Some clients are really quite nervous about sharing their ideas. They may consider them silly or not worthwhile. What advice would you give those clients?
Well, it's not for me to judge whether they're a silly idea or not. As far as I'm concerned, they're a silly idea if they've been done before, or if there's no possibility of the client making money out of them. The sort of inventions that I sometimes get and send people away with a flea in their ear are the ones that require the law to be changed for them to be effective, because you've got a real uphill task. And you've got to spend the money out on the patent applications before you can start approaching MPs or whoever to try to get the law changed. So those are usually hopeless. But as far as anything else is concerned, you really need to know your market. And if there is a place for in the market, if you know there's a place in the market for it, then it is certainly not a silly idea at all.
What are the most common mistakes you see inventors making? You're clearly in contact with a lot of inventors all the time, new ideas coming through. Where do you often think, well, if only they'd done that differently, it would have been more profitable for them?
Well, the key thing is to talk to a professional early. Because in any project, there are all these different aspects you have to look at. It isn't just the patent application. You want to think about design protection too. You need to know about non-disclosure agreements and trade secrets, and you need to know about all these different things right at the beginning. So it's often useful to have an initial discussion, then to go away and do your patent searching, and then, if it seems to be clear, to come back and talk about filing a patent application, then perfect the design with your design company that you're working with to get the thing in the good form for marketing, and then talk to the marketers and so on. There's a process, and the patent attorney fits into this process. He's useful at the beginning, and he has his uses again later on.
Once a client has obtained a patent, what are the different ways that the client can profit from the asset?
Well, patents that's why we call them intellectual property. They are property. You can buy and sell and mortgage and license property just like you can real estate. It's just called intellectual property because it has come into existence as the product of somebody's thought. But you can do all of those things. It tends sometimes to be difficult to approach manufacturers as an outsider to interest them in the product which you have filed a patent application on. But sometimes that's the best way. It varies from one case to another.
Are you able to provide advice in evaluating the best options to profit from patents?
It's not something I would normally do. Really, you need to work with a design and manufacturing company, people who know the markets and got the sales connections and so on. This is not something I would do. It often happens, the question I'm asked by almost every inventor who comes to see me is, what do you think of my idea, will it sell? To which I reply, as for your idea, well, we'll see when we discover how new it is. As for whether it will sell, I have no idea at all. I've long ago given up predicting which are the ones that are going to succeed. In fact, I think I have found over time that whether an invention succeeds depends more on the inventor than it does on the invention. In other words, have you got the push as the inventor to go out there and really sell it? That initial year you get from filing an initial application to deciding whether you're going to continue it, putting it in its final form and filing the foreign cases, that year goes so quickly, and you've really got to promote it as hard as you can during that time. Every which way you can.